Hi, I'm Jenny, and I'm going to be cooking you my very special eggplant parmesan tonight. So let me go through the ingredients with you. Because we're making fresh sauce, we have 5 pounds of plum tomatoes, and we've got 3 beautiful eggplants. We bought these just down the street at Barber's at the vegetable stand. We have fresh basil from our garden. We've got red pepper flakes, we've got garlic, we've got flour and panko for the breading. We've got some eggs, of course, fresh mozzarella, and special cupcake wine, red velvet that my friend Gina told me about. So we're gonna get cooking, okay. So we're gonna do about 1/4 inch slices. And I'm gonna go ahead and slice all these up and get them draining so we can kind of get the next part of the recipe together, and that is the homemade sauce, fresh sauce. So we'll go ahead and take a break and I'll get these draining and we'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back and I have cut up all the eggplant, and I decided that I'm gonna leave the skin on because I like the skin and it's kind of a pain to take the skin off. And what you do is you salt it and you kind of toss it around in the salt. Kind of crazy. And then you go ahead and put it over by the sink and let it drain. So with the tomatoes, it's also a little labor intensive, but it's well worth it. What we're going to do is score the end of every little tomato with an X. And we're going to blanch them. I've got the water boiling back here. And as soon as I get all these scored at the end, I'm going to toss them in that water for just about a minute. A few more left. So now you have to carefully put them in the boiling water just for a minute. And I really don't want to put them in for more than a minute because then they get overcooked and you just want to just blanch them. Okay, so we're getting the last bit of the tomatoes out of the boiling water. They blanch for 1 minute. You can see their skin's all wrinkly. You need to let them cool before you try to tackle taking their skin off. So we're going to put this thing open. Make sure the blade's in there. I've done this a couple times when I put it in there without the blade. So we're going to peel the tomatoes. It's really easy. I'm just going to put it right onto the counter. So you take a little paring knife and it comes, the skin comes right off. And we're going to blend them up. And I'm also going to cut up some garlic in a minute so that, actually I'm going to go ahead and do the garlic now because that needs to be in the pan browning before we pour this pureed tomato in there. So I'm going to stop that, bring the garlic over. I'm just going to take the side of the knife so that can make the garlic pop out of its skin, usually, pretty well. So I am using 3 garlic cloves. And you can use more if you love, love, love garlic. It's a lot of tomatoes. Okay, chop that up. And I like to chop up the garlic really, really, really small. I don't like big pieces of garlic in there. And if you have a wet knife, that usually is a good thing because that keeps the garlic from sticking to the knife. That's a nice thing to think about ahead of time. So again, I like my garlic chopped really, really, really fine. That looks perfect to me. So it's kind of coarse. And we'll put the garlic in the olive oil. that going. Got my little gator dog down here keeping me company. Hey, Sage, oh, you can smile for the camera? Okay. And we just want that to be golden. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it. Do you see it? Okay, so we have the tomatoes cooking, simmering kind of gently. We got them all in there. Again, there's some chunks in there, but that's just fine. And we're actually just going to tear, I've got about 20 fresh basil leaves. I'm going to just need to tear them in half or just a little bit. So you want big pieces of basil in here. And that's going to cook down for about 30 minutes. It'll thicken a little bit. And I love red pepper flakes. I like it to be have a little bit of a kick, so I'm going to actually shake quite a few of those in there. We're going to do, like I said, about a teaspoon. That looks about right. Throw that in. And you're always going to fix the seasonings later and salt it more if you need to. And about a quarter teaspoon of pepper. That looks about right. I think I'm going to bring this down just a little so it comes to a little bit more of a gentle simmer here. But oh my gosh, it smells so good. Love the basil, love the fresh tomatoes. And that's going to cook for a little bit. Because now our eggplant has been draining over here. And it's crazy. It's like it just kind of beads up all this water and that takes out some of the moisture so it'll be nice and crispy. Okay, so I'm getting my dry ingredients and my eggs, and I have the eggplant ready to go. We're gonna put it, you do it flour, egg, breadcrumb. So you start with a light going to the dark. So I'm gonna crack all these eggs in here. I gotta tell you, this stovetop hero thing is really a fun thing to do when you have friends around too, like have a little dinner party. Tonight we're just doing a little cozy family night in, but it is fun when you have a whole bunch of people over and you kind of cook in a group. Kind of makes like a fun activity. Our parents used to play bridge, well we do stovetop hero. We love cooking. Every night we make something big. Okay, so you don't dry them off or anything, you just take them right out, you dunk them in the flour, quickly do this, you let the egg run off, you don't want to get it like too chunky for the panko, and pretty much everybody's used panko now, it's just a coarser breadcrumb. Japanese style. Okay, so the sauce is cooking, and I put a little bit of breadcrumbs in there to see if it's browning them, and it is. I think it's ready. I really have to make sure that the oil's ready. And I'm going to go ahead and put my first batch in. So remember, I believe you're only supposed to flip them once. So just get them in there, get them cooking. All those cookies, just keep on going with your other batch of eggplant. Those are looking pretty good then, don't you think?
Yeah, man. The sauce is looking awesome too.
Smells good too. Smells delicioso. I'm going to let these cook. I'm going to add, you can see all the eggplant we've already done.
Looking nice.
We get these over there, and then I'm going to get my pan ready, because we are going to layer them, and we're going to layer them with fresh mozzarella. So I have my fresh mozzarella here. This actually comes in a nice little tube, and I'm going to have that, slice that up. Okay, so we're gonna take the last batch out, put it along the edge here, Hopefully it won't fall on Ace, because he likes to be right in the middle of every, oh, there you go. He got a little bit on his head. Okay. Turn off. This is the fun part. Okay, so I'll get some ladle. We're gonna put the first layer of fresh tomato sauce on the bottom. And I like to look for the bigger pieces of eggplant to put on the bottom so they kind of stack up nicely. I did mostly all of the big middle part of the eggplant, so they're all pretty good size here. So I'll reach down here and get some of the bigger pieces. And I also put the oven on 350, preheating that to 350. Put our first layer down. We're going to stack it pretty high. I did pretty thick pieces of mozzarella there, okay? And then I just put a nice little scoop of the fresh sauce. Looking good with the basil. And I also tasted the sauce in between and made sure that the seasonings were correct, and I felt like it needed quite a bit more salt. So I put almost another teaspoon or so in there and just tasted it, because when you're using fresh tomatoes like that, there's just, you know, just no extra salt in that at all, because they're not processed and canned. A double stack here, and put the sauce back on top, and then I'll make another pan full. Okay, so we'll get going on another one. I'll cut up some more mozzarella and I'll start on another pan. I'm going to take some fresh Parmesan cheese. I love these little spinny things. I'm going to put that over the top. And I love cheese, so I'm going to put quite a bit up there. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to put them in the oven. Again, it's at 350, and I think you cook them for about 30 to 40 minutes, about that. So you're going to kind of check on them, make sure they're bubbly. You don't cover them. They cook uncovered for about 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Bring them over here. The oven's already hot. I got it. Try to make sure Ace isn't in my way here. Your table, you think? I'll put this one there so you can see it. And we're going to be doing fettuccine. So we have the finished eggplant here and here. And while it's cooking, you can cook some fettuccine or whatever your favorite pasta is. You could do wagon wheels like Eddie's having over here. She's having her own little wagon wheel dinner. Could you please pan over to Eddie? She doesn't quite eat eggplant yet, believe it or not. So we're ready to eat. So we're gonna skip the salad. I love a fettuccine. So I'm just gonna put a nice little nest of fettuccine down. I really, really like this. Oh, this could be tricky. Let's see what we do here. Because it does need to look good, doesn't it? That's one stack. Ooh, I got 2 stacks. Nice. A little bit of extra. Ooh, it's looking kind of messy, but that's okay. It's okay, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna put that here. Look at that. It's kind of pretty. From the basil plant. Okay, follow me in here. We're gonna go into the dining room. We're going to have this nice romantic dinner. Can't remember which one's mine, because that always happens. I think this one's him. This one's me. We're going to have this nice little, what's left of the cupcake after that nice meal.
Looks
good.
good.
I hope you guys do this, and I hope you cook the eggplant. Vote for me if I post this. Enjoy.